Kimberly Dozier is a CNN Global Affairs analyst who was on assignment for time in Iraq, supported by the Pulitzer Center. She joins us now live from Washington to talk about her reporting, and it is important reporting. Kimberly, thanks for being with us. First of all, just talk about how big the problem is of what to do with these young people, how to help them, and is enough being done?
Well, the problem, Michael, is that Iraq needs to be rebuilt, much of it from the bottom up, and there isn't much left over to take care of children who were forced to fight for ISIS. The Yazidi children, some of them are getting help thanks to NGOs and international organizations, but there are hundreds more who were forced to do unspeakable things. They live with those memories. Some of them who've returned to what's left of their families have wished to go back. Some of those that I spoke to hadn't quite gotten ISIS out of their system. Others of them were taught by ISIS that one day the group would return and that these children would be called on to fight again. So they live in fear.
Yeah, it really is staggering what some of those kids had to do, and some of that on video as well. You kept some of the identities hidden. There was one boy that stood out called S. Tell me why his identity was hidden, briefly his story.
Well, S is still around 12 or 13. He was 9 when he was taken, and ISIS ransomed him back to his family after he had fought for ISIS in Syria. He didn't want to go, and when he first arrived to his mom and his 2 sisters, he tried to run away several times. He beat his mother. He tried to attack one of his sisters with a knife, calling her an infidel. He tried to set fire to his uncle's house, to the point where they got kicked out of the uncle's house and had to seek shelter through an international organization. Now, after more than a year of counseling, he has started to, he doesn't have the nightmares anymore. He's started working with his mom to help take care of the rest of the household. And he at last is telling her that he's glad he's back because he's the only man who's left. His father and his brother are still missing. Yeah,
and presumed dead, according to your report. Do you have hope for these kids? I mean, because it's a labor-intensive thing to treat every one of them. Do you feel that they will come out the other side of this experience even relatively intact?
Some will. I'm worried that many more are going to continue to suffer. And it's even worse for the Sunni boys because the Yazidi kids are suffering from essentially benign neglect. But under Iraqi law, children as young as 9 are criminally liable for what they did. And children as young as 13 are in Iraqi prisons for having fought for ISIS. There are also ISIS families that are in what amount to de facto internment camps that the Iraqi government doesn't know what to do with. That could be the seeds for a future ISIS.
And briefly, yes, because that is important, and it's important what you're reporting on the Yazidi kids, but there's a whole bunch of others, Sunni kids that were dragged into this and who are in these camps now. What treatment are they getting? The Iraqi government is probably not throwing money at it.
Well, from the Iraqi politicians I've spoken to, they've said, look, this summer we're going to be facing electricity shortages, water shortages. If we spend our limited resources on those people who took this country to the edge, our people would never elect us again. So in the meantime, you've got hundreds of thousands of people in these camps, bitter, resentful, and that hate is building. Yeah,
a lot of broken kids who need fixing. Kim, great reporting, important reporting. It's on the Time magazine website. Check it out. Kimberly Dozier, good to see you. Thanks.